We're going to learn what a web server is and how you can install one on your local computer. So I just looked up this information from the NDN web docs. That's the Mozilla. They do a lot of technologies for the internet, and they do a lot of standards. So what is a web server? Web server can refer to hardware or software. So on the hardware side, a web server is a computer that stores web server software and the website's component files, so it has everything together in one place. It's connected to the internet and supports physical data interchange with other devices connected to the web. Or you have the software, which is a web server, includes several parts that control web users access hosted files. So we're going to be doing some software on ours. So the whole point of a web server is when you're in a browser, you type in a website. That website asks the web server for some information. It requests some information. It requests files, and the response is put back from it to put that information on the web browser. There's two types. So you have a static web server and a dynamic web server. So these both can have, a static one will not make changes. The static server sends its hosted files as is, so nothing happens. Dynamic ones, we call it dynamic because the application server updates hosted files before sending them to the browser, so have up-to-date information. And that's what you'll be creating when in Advanced AI. You'll be creating dynamic websites because the information will be changing when you're creating them. For example, you'll be using PHP and databases to do that. You can have a look at this website if you go on to what is a web server from developer.mozilla.org. So there's a couple web servers that you may want to install, and I'm going to go through a couple right now. So we have this one called XAMPP, XAMPP. So it is Apache, which is your things that makes HTML websites run. MariaDB, which is the database software that installs MySQL, which is the SQL version we're going to be using. PHP, so we're going to be using PHP to create those dynamic websites. It can also work with Python, so we're going to be using databases with Python programming. You can install it, download it for Windows, Linux and Mac. So there's a video, and I'm going to link it down in the assignments for you to watch, and I highly encourage you to do that because it goes through how to install it for Windows. This is not the one I'm going to use, but it's the one that you may want to use. I'm going to use one called MAMP, M-A-M-P, and it is available for Windows and Mac. I've got a Mac right now, so I'm running that at home, and it's just easy for me to make these videos, etc. It has it for Windows though, and it's pretty much the same experience. So if you want to follow along with me, you can download it. You can download it free. I wouldn't buy it, there's no need to, it just gives you extra features. But we have everything we need. So it works with Apache, MySQL, PHP, Python, everything which the other ones does. And once you install it, you will be given this box here, and this is the box where you can start the servers. It has to run an Apache server and MySQL server. So if I click start, this is the page that you have. It will be very similar to the XAMPP web server in that it has access to what you need. So it will have the tools. It has PHP info and PHP myadmin. You'll know if you have installed it correctly if you access these two sites. So PHP info, if you click on that, this shows that you have accessed PHP and you've installed it correctly. It's just a list of all the commands that PHP has access to. If you then go into PHP myadmin, this is the place where you can create your database. So you have all the database information here. It tells you can create users, you can update tables, you can delete tables, you can do anything which SQL is created for. We will go into more detail about these later, but I just want you to get the web server up and running just now. So it's important that you are able to see that. So go ahead and install your web server, get it running, and I'd like to send me some screenshots of your web server up and running. So I'd like to send me a screenshot of the PHP page, a screenshot of the PHP myadmin page, and a screenshot of the welcome page. So if you could do that for me and put it in the assignment return. Thanks for watching.